What's going on, guys? Brother Russia here, back with another video on Dragon Ball Z Dokkan Battle. And today we are going to be taking a look at the LR Gamma 1 and 2 that just dropped over here on the JP side during the greatest anniversary. So we have them here at 55%. No equips, no nothing, link level 1s, of course. So we're going to run run them in a couple events here. And see if we can try to get their standby skills out there, the charge finish. Make sure that we can try to get everything in this one event that we're gonna do. So let us hop into an event and see how well they perform. All right, so we hopped into the God Goku spectacle event. I figured this would probably be a good one to show them off in, because we do have to take some damage and try to get under a 70% threshold first, like a 70% HP threshold. So it's their active or their standby conditions. It's only able to be used when HP is 70% or less, or after this character is attacked 3 or more times in battle. So I figure bringing them here is going to be kind of a good fight for us, because the actual God Goku phase, the only ones that can damage him are going to be the tech units, which I brought Tech Piccolo and I brought the Tech God Goku, because both of them will just be like defensive walls against him anyway, so we should be fine. But for the Gammas here, so they're a superheroes category leader, 200% category leader. They raise attack and defense for 1 turn, cause colossal damage on their 12 key, and then they greatly raise attack and defense for 1 turn and cause mega colossal damage on their 18 key. So they get key plus 3, attack and defense 125%, just right off the get-go. They gain an additional key plus 3 and attack and defense 125% when HP is 30% or higher, which we are. They are a superheroes, joint forces, and defender of justice category allies, key 3, attack and defense 50% support units, which is crazy that there are now 50% support units for superheroes. So you have to run them on a superheroes team, because I mean, they're going to support the entire time. I mean, 50% is a massive support boost, to be honest. They get a chance to perform a crit plus 30% and perform an additional super up to twice per turn per int key sphere obtained. So you want to try to get int key spheres with them. But they do have another condition here where they have a chance to perform a crit plus 12% and perform additional attacks that has a great chance to become a super up to twice per turn per AGL or STR type key spheres obtained. Then they gain an additional attack and defense 50% and reduce damage received by 30% starting from the turn that this character performs a 3rd attack in battle. So if we get lucky and they can just do a triple super like right off the get-go for us, then they'll get that automatic 50% attack and defense and the 30% damage reduction just automatically. So the problem here is the way that the orbs dropped, we're not going to be able to get any kind of int key spheres. So let's do this. Let's give you those. Well, I guess there's 1 there, but I feel like the 8 here is going to be better for us. So let's go with these STR orbs. Also, this is the friend. They're not maxed out links yet or anything. They're sitting at 406k defense. So that's not a bad start to the fight, though. We do want to get mine out there and get the 55% in action. Okay, Gamma 2 just cost the fight for us, so let's go ahead and hop back in here and try this again. maybe we'll bring a Ghost Usher or something instead, huh? No, we don't want Gogeta as a friend. Do we have another? Yeah, there we go. Okay, we're gonna hop back in here again and try this again. Okay, so we have Gamma 1 on rotation. Gamma 1 I think is gonna be better, obviously, defensively for us. And it's the friend on rotation. So the friend has all link level 1s. So the friend is sitting at 366k defense. The nice thing is there's a lot of int orbs right here. Well, there was, if I would have picked that better. We'll just go with this right here. So the attack is going to be pretty big on, like, or their damage should be pretty good, I should say, actually. Yeah, we'll let my Gamma tank all these hits in the front here, because he does need to get hit to build up, so. And I believe they share, the Gamma 1 and 2 LR will share 6 out of 7 links. So the friend is at an 8.2 million. This is also link level 1s at Rainbow. I'm curious to see what the 55% is going to be at. And depending on how many links we have with Gamma 2, I might have to throw mine off rotation to make sure that I can get them on there with Gamma 1. Okay, guys. Yeah, they're definitely popping off. You definitely want to get the int orbs. That seems to be the case. I guess I could have probably put them in like slot 1 to see how well they would have tanked defensively. So I've got mine here. Here's what I'll do. I'll throw mine off rotation for now. Just so we can get him on rotation with the, actually, no, you know what? We'll do this. We'll leave him on rotation. So we're sitting at 250k defense. There's actually a lot of good orbs right there for us. So we'll get that. We have 2 links active. I believe the links that are active is Fierce Battle and Legendary Power is all we have right now. So we're sitting at 250k, which at 55%, I don't think that's too bad. What kind of damage do we do though? 5.5 million, and we don't even have all of our actual like good links active, because the links that they have are Android Assault, Red Ribbon Army, Shocking Speed, Hero of Justice, Signature Pose, Fierce Battle, and Legendary Power. So you do really want to run them with like the Gamma 1, like either the STR Gamma 1 or the AGL Gamma 2, obviously. And that's just mainly because we want to make sure that they have as many links active as possible. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to go into the standby phase with the friend unit. So once we actually go into the standby phase, make sure we get the right one pulled up here. All right, so once we're in the standby phase, the biggest thing that changes, their 18 key raises superclass allies defense by 50% for 1 turn. You know what? Let's go ahead and do this. Let's go ahead and get them into their standby, and then we'll talk about what the rest of their passive does. Okay, so now we have them in their like standby phase. So the way that they build up in the standby phase is by getting as many supers as we can, because they build up this by charge count, and it counts it per super attack that we do. So the more supers that we do, the more damage we're gonna do, because their finish skill, once it's built up, temporarily raise attack by 100% per charge count and cause super ultimate damage. Stun the target enemy for 1 turn and exchange with Gamma 1. So, I guess we can just get the one. We'll just get that one orb right there. We'll just give you that and we'll prep you for the next phase. How about that? So the other thing that they do is they get Ki plus 6, attack and defense 250%, and damage reduction by 50%. Gain an additional attack and defense 50% when attacking. They still support superheroes, join forces, and defenders of justice. Ki 3, attack and defense 50%. They get a chance to perform a crit plus 30% and perform an additional super up to twice per turn per int key sphere obtained. And then a chance to perform a crit plus 12% and perform additional attack that has a great chance to become a super up to twice per turn per AGL or STR key sphere obtained. So in this phase here, you basically just want to get as many supers as we can before we drop the big behemoth of a bomb on them. And I believe I think we can get the standby to go in with the 55% one as well. If not, next turn we'll definitely be able to. Okay, so no, we haven't. So what we'll do is, so right here, we'll just leave you with Gogeta. So we're only at 250k, obviously, because we don't have any links active. And also the problem is we don't have any int key spheres here. So we have to rely on AGL ones, and that doesn't get us to a 24 key, unfortunately. But either way, we should be able to get some attacks out of the Gammas here. Oh, we took a little bit of damage. Again, we don't have any of their good actual like links active, because if we can get some of their links active, Android Assault, you know, it gives defense plus 10%. Red Ribbon Army is 10% attack. Shocking Speed is 2 key. Hero Justice is 25% attack. Signature Pose is 2 key. Fierce Battles 15% attack. And Legendary Powers 10% attack when performing a super. And obviously once we get up to link level 10, they're going to be a lot higher. Alright, so Orange Piccolo, we're not going to worry about you, obviously. So Orange Piccolo would be the one to do all the damage here. But we can drop this, and actually, so we have 11 charges here. We can drop this now and then go into Gamma 1. So this is just a friend one, of course. Unfortunately, my 55% one has been kind of in the mud at the moment, but we'll drop the friend one, and then we'll get my 55% one out there as well at some point. So let's go ahead and pop this. All right. So obviously we didn't do that much damage because this Goku, his gimmick is only tech type units will actually damage him. So that's why we just didn't do much of anything at all. But Gamma, once Gamma 1 comes out, at this point, he has kind of the same things as from like the active or from the standby, especially like when it comes to a super. But then it drops to his passive is Ki 3, attack and defense 150%, and damage reduction 15%. He gains an additional Ki plus 3, attack and defense 150%, and reduces damage received by 15% if HP is 30% or higher. So right now we're at 30% damage reduction. Gains an additional attack and defense 50% when attacking. He's still supporting the 3 categories. He can perform an additional super. He changes AGL key spheres to int key spheres. And then he gains a chance to perform a crit plus 20% with a max of 100%. And reduce damage received by an additional 10% with a max of 50% per int or STR key sphere obtained. So if we give him these right here, so if we give him the four int key spheres, he gets an 80% crit chance and an additional 40% damage reduction. So we'll obviously go ahead and do that. I guess you can just get the 1 orb there, and Orange Piccolo, we'll let you do some damage to him. So the friend's at a 14.7 million. So the damage later on isn't too terrible, but I think starting out as like a 55%, the damage can be a little low. And I think what we want to do is definitely get some dupes in them. Alright, so obviously we have the 80% damage reduction right there, so we were more than safe. So we want to get the honestly, we want to get my 55% out here because we want to showcase him. Obviously not the rainbow friend, because we'll do a rainbow showcase as well later on. But we got to make sure we get all the links leveled up to level 10 and do all that fun jazz as well. Yeah, this fight is actually pretty nice in the fact that this Goku's basically just a tank. So we can last in this fight for a while. So we'll definitely pop the standby skill with my 55%er. We'll have them linked up with Gamma 1. So actually, yeah, having Gamma 1 out there. So yeah, so we want to pop this. Go ahead and play this again. All right, so here what I think we're gonna do is we'll have all 7 links active. If we had them in the middle slot, we're not gonna worry about that so much, though. We are gonna transform Gogeta, so we'll just get that in the video as well. All right, so we are going to give all of these STR orbs to him because there's no int orbs, obviously, but with all these STR orbs, we're getting a chance to perform a crit plus 12% and get an additional super as an additional attack that has a great chance to become a super up to twice per turn per AGL or STR key sphere obtained. So we'll just give them all of this right here. And we'll just keep them in slot 1. So we're at 443k defense in slot 1. We'll give you that, and I guess Gogeta doesn't really matter because you're not really going to do much damage anyway. So defensively, we should be pretty good right here. Okay, so 10 million attack stat. So the attack stat here is actually now much better, into a 6.7 mil. So this is now much better once you have them actually on rotation with a Gamma 1 or 2, because like I said, you can get most of their links active, and they have like the specific like Android links, like the Red Ribbon Army Android links. Um, and once you do that, then they're going to perform at their best. And the only other problem is if you're not going to run the Android, or not the Androids, you're not going to run like a Gamma 1 and a Gamma 2 on your team. You can still run them on a superhero team because they're still going to support. So regardless, you can still bring them and they're going to just still support the entire rotations all throughout like the phases. So either in their base form, their standby skill, or like the finisher move where you get Gamma 1 out, they're still supporting the entire rotation of 50%. So not really a terrible thing to have. So we'll just, we'll just keep the fight going like this. We'll give you these int key spheres. I guess it doesn't really matter for you. And we'll just give you all of those, even though you'll be fine back there. So, I mean, the Gammas actually aren't, they're not a bad unit, like, whatsoever. I'd say that Dokkan definitely did pretty well with these Part 2 units. Not to say that Part 1 units were bad or anything like that. All 4 of these units are pretty much like the top 5, like they would be top 5 units in the game, in my opinion. Where you kind of place them is going to be, I mean, you have Beast Gohan pretty much at like number 1, like guaranteed number 1. And then after that is kind of like where you can have like the argument for, hey, Broly could be number 2 or Gogeta could be number 2, and then Broly or Gogeta could be number 3, and I'd say probably these Gammas might be like number 4. Though, it is kind of subjective and you can kind of place them wherever you want to, because obviously tier lists are just kind of your own thing that you can do. So we have 13 charges here, so we're just going to go ahead and drop this. Let's just see what kind of damage this will do, even though we know that it's not going to really hurt this Goku. We're still going to go ahead and drop it right here. Alright, so unfortunately with how tanky this Goku actually is, that's why we didn't really do any kind of damage. But, so we do have mine out here now at 55%. We're sitting at 495k defense, which isn't too bad. We can't get any int key spheres, unfortunately, because he changes the AGL to int, and we had no AGL orbs out there, so we're kind of in a pickle. But we can still get all of these 10 right here, because either way we are getting get a chance to perform a crit up to 100%. It's plus 20% up to a max of 100, and get plus 10% damage reduction up to a max of 50 per int or STR key sphere. So right there, we got 10 of them, so we max out. We're gonna have a perfect, we're gonna crit regardless, and then on top of that, we're also going to get the additional 50% damage reduction. And then on top of that, we're also in the base passive, we're reducing damage by 15%, and with us being over 30% HP, we're also getting an additional 15% damage reduction on top of that. So as of right now, we have 80% damage reduction with them. So Gamma, I mean, is basically just like a defensive wall as long as you can get the orbs for him. And he's still supporting the whole rotation with the superhero category. So everybody here is still getting the 50% supports. And it's just crazy that, basically like the level of support that we're getting here. We're not going to use yours. We're just going to keep this going. Oh, we got a Dokkan attack that we can do? Would have thought we'd see one of those. I mean, either way, I guess we can just drop the Dokkan attack here and see what kind of damage we'll do with them. If I can actually not miss an orb. But it looks like a 14.7 million attack stat. So yeah, I mean, they do pretty good damage. The biggest thing is obviously this. It's just the fight that I chose. This Goku is just defensively just way too good. Plus he gets so much damage reduction if non-tech enemies attacking him. So that's why we're just like, it feels like we're doing nothing to him. But in reality, I mean, we'd probably still be hitting pretty hard. Like this Gamma is probably gonna do, you know, would normally do pretty decent damage, especially with like the crits and everything. But we're just like doing the slow grind on this Goku until we kill him. And then we'll be able to see either way, like either Gamma will or Gogeta will take the either one of these should be able to take this Goku out, and then we'll see how well we'll do with the 55% Gamma, with Gamma 1 being out next rotation in the actual like next fight too. So yeah, and we get the additional super. Yeah, it's crazy how just this anniversary made superhero category like the best category in the game. With all the easy A's and everything. I mean, they decided they were gonna cook something up, and they did not disappoint us. Yeah, so we're gonna be sitting at 495k defense. We get this right here. Again, we're getting that maximum amount of we're getting the maximum 100% crit. We're getting the extra 50% defense, or I'm sorry, the extra 50% damage reduction. We're sitting at 11.4 million attack stat. We're supporting the whole rotation. I mean, these Gammas are definitely crazy good. Very good unit. I mean, they're pretty fun as well. Again, Dokkan, they did well when they made this unit. Like, they went above and beyond when it came to making these guys. The build on him though, I'm thinking maybe you go additional and dodge. If not, maybe just full dodge. Well, I guess it's weird. Maybe like you just go full additional with them, because I mean, they get the 80% damage reduction, so it's not like they're really going to be hurt or anything like that. So yeah, it's kind of definitely don't put crit on them, because they get the chance to crit obviously per like if you get the int orbs or the STR or AGL orbs, so they don't need crit, especially like when you get this Gamma out. As long as you get 5 orbs of either STR or int, he's basically going to be guaranteeing you the chance to crit. And every single time he comes out, he changes AGL to int anyway, so you always pretty much have a chance at trying to get that you know, that extra 100% chance to crit and the 50% damage reduction. But you know, I think we've kind of seen everything we need to see with the Gammas. I mean, they performed well. I can't wait to take them into a little bit harder content and see how well they're going to perform there. You know, get them on rotation with like Beast Gohan and stuff like that. So I think it's going to be it's definitely going to be pretty fun. So hopefully you guys did enjoy the video, and if you guys did, consider hitting that like button, and if you are new here, consider subscribing, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Bye guys.